Gary, fantastic performance, fantastic results. Tell us your thoughts about it.
Yeah, slightly disappointed we didn't make it more comfortable for us. I thought particularly when they went down to 10 men second half. It's always difficult because you really want the players to play simply and move the ball very quickly and perhaps use the space wide because they've got to go narrow defensively with 10 men. So we probably didn't do that quite as well as we would have liked to, but we still created enough chances. I thought first half we were brilliant, really good. Carried off from the Norwich performance and the Norwich intensity, which was a challenge. And I said that to them before the game. I said our challenge is not knowing what we got to do; it's doing it week in, week out, and it's doing it with the same aggression as we did against Norwich. Because that's our standard now, and we've got to make sure we keep pushing the boundaries. So, but really encouraged by the way we. Not just countered, but the way we pressed the ball first half and the way we passed the ball when we won the ball back. In transition, we were really good. We played a lot of balls wide. We played with a lot of quality in behind. Had lots of opportunities on goal, particularly when it went wide to Jacques, and then when he passed it inside, we had a little bit of an overload in midfield. And I think Robert's had 4 or 5 good shots first half. Michael's had a shot. We really have peppered their goal and probably should have made it a lot safer. But fair play to Fulham. They kept going and they caused us 1 or 2 problems second half just with the way they moved the ball. But I think Thomas has only had 1 save to make. I think they've had 7 shots the whole game to our 22. So I think obviously not in terms of possession, but that's a little bit of us. In terms of attacking dominance, I thought we were really good today.
That 15-20 minute spell at the start of the second half when the goal came, Fulham couldn't live with you. You set off on the front foot at a fair clip, and you mentioned the word intensity. It was just there for everyone to see, wasn't it?
Well, that was something we were conscious of, and I think we've done really well since the start of the second half against Wolves. I mean, again, a little bit unfortunate in that game in some ways that they score a good goal early on, but we didn't start the game with enough intent that second half, and I think it's been something that we've been mindful of, particularly against Norwich. We started really well second half, and it just stops the tide. It stops them getting any impetus. It stops the crowd from getting any enthusiasm from the first 5-10 minutes. And we did it really well again today. And like you say, we've played higher due to the fact that they probably started with Smith early on. We just felt as though he wouldn't run in behind as much as some of the other players would. But as soon as he went off, of course, then they have no physical presence up there. So again, it gave us an opportunity to play a little bit higher. And I thought we've done that quite well. The 2 strikers have done it well. I thought Mags, again, difficult trip for him in the international break. But I thought, maybe run out of steam last 10-15 minutes. But I thought, he's been our best player, I think, so far. By a country mile, he's been excellent. So, but really infused with the way we pressed the ball and then the way we used it. And like I said, we should have had more goals.
And when the penalty is awarded again a second time, Clayton Donaldson steps up to take it and scores after missing the first one. What were the thoughts in the dugout? Because I believe there was a little conversation at half-time, wasn't there?
Yeah, me and Kev said, we're going to have to get someone else to take the second penalty because, of course, Clayton's missed against Wigan. But he stepped up to score. I think was it a Norwich game? He scored a penalty. So, and again, having missed the first penalty today, I think his ex-teammate saved it and probably knew a little bit more about him, gave him a little advantage. And we just felt it'd be better if someone else took the second, if we were to get another penalty, someone else took it. And I think Summers told Mags to take it at half-time. I stayed out of it because I didn't really want that controversy of telling Clace he wasn't taking it because, of course, mentally, it's going to have an impact on your overall performance second half. But I think Shots and Mags tried to tell Clace that Mags was going to take it, but he showed some real courage, and sometimes you have to let the players sort it out on the pitch because it's their game, it's their livelihoods, and they're the ones sometimes that have to make those decisions. And Clace made the decision. He followed it up with the goal, but I'm sure if he'd have missed, I'd have probably had 1 or 2 words to say to him at the end of the game.
Just a tinge of disappointment. You mentioned that you wish you'd have sort of scored 2 or 3 goals and played a little bit better against the 10 men, ironically.
Well, it's always difficult. I mean, our teams have always struggled a little against 10 men because we're not a natural possession-based team where we can move the ball from side to side really, really easily. And of course, when the opposition go down to 10, you don't want to sit in and you don't want to soak any pressure up. You want to try and be on the front foot. And there's always that, do you go really on the front foot and leave a little bit of space and give them one counter-attack that they can score from, or do you try and have a bit of balance about your game? And just felt at times, second half, we just struggled with that balance. We got caught out running forward in the wrong areas, and we got caught out being a little bit sloppy because perhaps as a player you feel you can be, but we still had chances. We still had great chances. I thought Mags at the end, it was great defending, superb defending. I think it was for Callas to read the shot. Cots did well actually. Maybe should have done better with the first one, but did really well. Good composure. But again, I'm disappointed that we just didn't go and score another. But listen, it's another clean sheet. It's another win, and it's an encouraging start to the season.